I'm going to introduce now Neerja Choudhary, senior journalist, joining us here on the program, and Akshita Bhadauria, columnist and political analyst. Do we have guests with us? Okay, let's have the guests on frame, please. Again, introducing Neerja Choudhary, senior journalist, and Akshita Bhadauria, columnist and political analyst. Very good evening. Thank you so much for joining us here on Mirror Now. Neerja, again, a very fascinating sort of a counting day. Things moved back and forth in between, but finally we have the figures. As of now, Election Commission website showing 131 wins. 136 is still the leading figure, and of course the figures are running on our grids as well. Did you expect this kind of a sweep for the Congress party? What are the big takeaways, Neerja?
Number one, yes, I expected it would be a clear and comfortable win, because right from the beginning, the feedback coming from Karnataka was that there was an undercurrent for change. And number two, the day the Contractors Association publicly announced 40% commission for the Karnataka Sarkara, the lay of the land was clear, because contractors stay on the right side of the government, number one. Number two, they expect to pay 10 to 15% commission, and nobody, protests about it. But for them to talk about 40% commission, that showed that the water had gone over the heads of people. And also people's economic hardship was somewhere getting connected to widespread corruption. So anyway, these were indications and straws in the wind. Now, when in the morning, the figures, of the leads were hovering around 112, 113, 116, it seemed that it could be a very unstable government. The Congress may be able to form a government, but how long it would last was anybody's guess, because the BJP would try and poach, and with Janata Dal S, try and break MLAs. If not now, then maybe 6 months down the line, maybe 1 year down the line. So the fact that it is a convincing mandate it spells political stability. And from talking to people, it seemed that they wanted to give Congress a chance, they wanted change, but they also wanted to give the BJP a jolt.
Right, very clear mandate in that sense. Akshita Bhadauria, do you concede that, here the mandate is clear, and that helps, because now we do not have to do any sort of haggling or bargaining or calculation whatsoever. And that rules out the infamous possibilities of Operation Lotus coming into play. But when you look at the figures, a couple of things, if you deep dive, we see there are a few upsets, some heavyweights. C.T. Ravi, for example, has lost in Chikmagalur. If we can put out those figures, please, and those names on our screens. We have Jagdish Chetar, who switched from BJP to Congress, who also lost the Hubballi-Dharwad central seat. V. Somanna from Varuna, again, lost that seat. So any, takeaways from these? Because, defectors has been such a big issue. There have been so many movements, switching of parties, and not all of them have done well.
Right. Firstly, thank you for having me. Definitely, this was one, really exciting results. Personally was definitely not expecting, whereas I was expecting Congress to emerge as the single largest party. Congress sweeping it completely was something absolutely unexpected. In a few uninterrupted minutes, I could give out a few very interesting numbers. As much as it is a win for the Congress, it is also a loss for JDS, especially in terms of the vote share. So if you compare the vote share, the BJP has managed to keep it to 36%, which was the same even during the last elections in 2018. But if you see the Congress's gain in vote share, that is of 5%, it's exactly the reverse of the JDS, wherein they have lost that 5% of vote share. This time around, what Congress has managed to do is convert their vote shares into seat shares, which was definitely not happening in the past. So consistently, BJP, despite having a lower vote share than Congress, it managed to gain, a higher number of seats. But this time, the way Congress has actually eaten into the votes of both the BJP and the JDS is something that, has helped the party tremendously, especially if you see in the old Mysuru region. JDS has been reduced to half, from 28 to 14, whereas Congress has gained from 17 to 34. So that is, one very interesting aspect to keep in mind, both in terms of when you talk about the community, both in terms of Lingayat and the Vokaligas, Congress has actually managed to make inroads wherein the BJP was struggling. So definitely, it's a great thing that Karnataka has a clear mandate. However, the troubles don't really end. We'll have to wait and watch tomorrow what really happens, because there's a lot of power struggle that's happening within the Congress. So we'll have to wait and watch as to how things unfold for the state.
Looking at live visuals now, do stay on with us, Neerja and Akshita. We're just going to play out the live pictures for our viewers, because there's the winning team there on our screens. You have Mallikarjun Kharge, Siddaramaiah, KC Venugopal, and DK Shiv Kumar, the top leaders of the Congress party, both at the state and the centre there, hailing this victory, raising a toast, as it were. Of course, Randeep Singh Surjewala also there. So central observers, top leaders of the Congress party and the state leadership congregating there, taking the stage now. Yes, this is again a very large gathering there with the huge media presence as well. What I'm going to do is quickly look at the scenarios in terms of what can happen for the leaders here. Are we listening in to Mr. Randeep Surjewala? Yes, let's quickly listen into what Mr. Surjewala is saying.
आज इस विशेष पत्रकार वार्ता में मैं सबसे पहले कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष श्री मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे साहब, विधायक दल के नेता पूर्व मुख्यमंत्री सिद्धारमैया साहब, हमारे जुझारू अध्यक्ष प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमेटी श्री डीके शिव कुमार साहब, कौंसिल लीडर बीके हरिप्रसाद साहब, मेरे वरिष्ठ साथी जिनका मार्गदर्शन लगातार हम पर हमारे साथ बना रहा, कांग्रेस भारतीय राष्ट्रीय कांग्रेस के संगठन महासचिव श्री केसी वेणुगोपाल साहब, working presidents, AICC secretaries, dignitaries on the dais. Let me take this opportunity to welcome each one of my journalist friends from print and electronic media who's present here in this special press conference. I also thank all the enthusiastic leaders and workers of the Congress party who are present here as part of this special press conference. I assure you, you are on this dais in spirit, if not physically. Today is a historic occasion. Karnataka has created history. Karnataka has shown a new light for democracy, not only for people of Karnataka, but for the entire country. ताली आप ना बजाइए, सिर्फ सुन लीजिए, मुझे आपके जोश की मैं कदर करता हूं. From the bottom of my heart, on behalf of my colleague KC Venugopal ji, myself and each congressman and women, millions and millions across the country, I want to thank 6.5 crore brothers and sisters of Karnataka, our fellow Kannadigas. This is a victory of every Kannadiga. This is a victory of every voter of Karnataka. This is not a victory of the Congress party alone. Today, the Swabhiman of Karnataka, the brand Karnataka, that has truly won. And I thank our fellow Kannadigas from the bottom of my heart on behalf of Indian National Congress and Karnataka Pradesh Congress Committee. This is a victory also of each and every toiling Congress worker and Congress leader who gave it all to ensure that Karnataka is free from a 40% corrupt government of the BJP, who toiled so that brand Karnataka could be rebuilt and path of progress and prosperity could happen again. I thank each one of our fellow Congress workers and Congress leaders. This is also a victory for my PCC president, my CLP leader, and the entire team of our MLAs, ex-ministers, ex-MLAs, PCC office bearers, working presidents. Siddaramaiah ji, DK Shivkumar ji, this is also truly your victory, and I congratulate both of you in particular. And above all, this is a victory for our guiding light, the President of the All India Congress Committee, who was there with us throughout, toiling much harder than a young person, going one constituency to another. Sir, this is a victory for you. I also take this opportunity to particularly thank Srimati Sonia Gandhi ji, without whose blessings, despite her not keeping so well, she make it a point. She called Khadge Saab, she called Venugopal ji, she called CLP leader, she called PCC president. And she said, I also want to come. And she contributed, and she proved to be a lucky mascot, if I may say. It is special thanks to Srimati Sonia Gandhi from each and every worker. And I'll be failing in my duty if I will not thank our hero, our leader, a person who only guides us, a person who toils selflessly, a person who takes all the brickbats but never takes credit, the one and only Shri Rahul Gandhi ji. He traveled he walked for 600 kilometers almost. For 22 days, he was with us in Karnataka. No wonder I was looking that almost every constituency that Bharat Jodo Yatra touched, that constituency Congress party has won. The Congress flag is flying there. Wherever Shri Rahul Gandhi ji went, almost 80-85% of those seats we have won. I thank Shri Rahul Gandhi on behalf of my PCC President DK Shivkumar ji, on behalf of my CLP leader, also on behalf of Khadge Saab, for spending so much time during the campaign. We almost feel he is a part of Karnataka, he is a Kannadiga. I especially also thank one more person who, by her words, by her road shows, by her affection and affiliation to the Congress workers, energize our cadre, Srimati Priyanka Gandhi ji. Despite keeping a little unwell at that point of time, she never backed out. Every single public meeting we requested her to come for, she came, she addressed, she mingled, she absolutely shared the affections and blessings of Kannadigas. I also take this opportunity to specially thank Srimati Priyanka Gandhi ji. Friends, before I call upon Honorable Congress President, I want to say two more things. प्रजातंत्र को बचाने का एक नया मंत्र इस देश में कर्नाटक ने आज दे दिया है. Karnataka has given a new mantra to save democracy in India. So this is not a victory that is restricted to Karnataka. It's a pathway to save democracy and save constitution across India. I don't want to use the word of our Prime Minister, who often speaks about Congress Mukt Bharat, but people of Karnataka have ensured that BJP Mukt South India has happened. It's also an answer to the politics of divisiveness, politics of hate.
All right. Randeep Surjewala there with that sentence drew a lot of applause, saying BJP Mukt South India has been achieved. Neerja, you want to come in on this? Yes, it is indeed an impetus for the Congress party, and often enough we have spoken about the sagging fortunes of the party. To what extent will this bring in the much needed momentum? Because it's also about Congress regaining its stature in this entire opposition conglomerate. Somewhere the party was getting sidelined there as well. Do you think this will help capitalize, regain some stature in the overall context, Neerja?
Look, there are two sides to that story. It is true, number one, that the BJP has not just lost a mid-sized state which sends 28 Lok Sabha MPs. There is a psychological disadvantage because the Prime Minister had not long ago said that the BJP was the only national party in the country today. So it would lose its pan-India status by losing Karnataka. Now, whether it will come to par in Telangana, which goes through the polls in the winter, highly unlikely because it has a lot of ground to cover to be able to defeat the BRS. But yet, it is in the fight there in Telangana. But yes, it has been a setback, clearly. Now, as far as the opposition is concerned, a Congress on the ascendance can make many opposition parties quite insecure. So far, I believe Rahul Gandhi has ruled out that he is in the reckoning as a prime ministerial candidate of the entire opposition in 2024. That's what I'm told. I don't know whether true or not, but that's what one hears. And yet, there are certain alliances which are already in place, like Bihar and Tamil Nadu. Right. But there, as far as Mamata Banerjee is concerned, as far as Kejriwal is concerned, as far as Akhilesh Yadav is concerned, will they revise their decision, which they've taken and conveyed so far, not to have any truck with the Congress in 2024? Will they revise it now that the minorities have gravitated to the Congress in a big way? And that is what explains the loss of vote share and loss of seats to the Janata Dal S in the South Karnataka region. Because it's a combination of the Vocaligas and the minorities that used to give the Janata Dal S its standing in Karnataka. So given that fact, will it have implications in other states and other alliances? So this has become, while it has given new heart to the opposition parties that the BJP can be defeated, it can also create complications. So it may not be such a simple matter.
It may not be as simple. Okay, take your point, Neerja. Quick last word to you, Akshita Bhattacharya. You know, again, what we are looking at are multiple things that have come out of this election and how the local leadership has performed and the party has made big gains, and this has been the story in other states, where in Rajasthan as well, wherever the local leadership is strong and you have a strong regional satrap, Congress seems to manage to gain ground. Do you think here is a template for the party going forward?
Right. More than a template for Congress, I think, it's a learning for BJP. That's something that I have been maintaining since morning, because definitely there's a lot of introspection that needs to happen within the BJP. A lack of leadership within the state unit, suddenly bringing on 60 new faces, of course, disappointing the 60 that you did not give tickets to. So a lot of factors actually went against the BJP in the state of Karnataka. Whether this template will be used by Congress and other states and it will help them, I'm not very sure about that. But definitely more than, I've been saying, more than a win to the Congress, it's a learning for the BJP. It's a learning for, the state unit, wherein they really, I think, would not mind to sit in the opposition for the next 5 years and relook at their strategies and their leadership before again getting into the race of gaining power. As far as having any rub-off on the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, I think that's just being a little too ambitious if, Congress will manage to have any rub-off in the Lok Sabha elections.
Right, interesting. Thank you so much for joining us today, Neerja Choudhary and Afrida Rahman. Thanks for giving us your perspectives on the situation that we are looking at. Pleasure to have the two of you with me.
Thank you.